Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jarvis S. Scott with What's Happening in Birmingham. Today I have the honor and pleasure of being with Mr. Fred Bolling. Good afternoon, Mr. Bolling.
Oh, good afternoon. Glad to be here.
Good, good. He is a candidate that is running for Judge Place 3 on next Tuesday, June the 5th. Good afternoon again. Thank you for taking time. I know this is the last couple of days of the campaign, but I really appreciate you taking time out your schedule to come before the voters and kind of speak a few moments and kind of tell them why you're running for the position.
Oh, I appreciate the opportunity. You know, my busy schedule is doing just what we're doing here, so it's no brainer to take that time out to come and talk with a good friend and let the folks know what we're about and what they're voting on. I don't want anybody voting for me just because. I want them to vote for me because I have a cause. So.
Okay, so why are you running for judge?
I am running for judge, and this seat is in family court. I am running for judge because I really think that I can make a difference. I'm running for judge because I believe that it's a calling. I don't do anything. I don't take my opportunities lightly. I think that what I have comes from God. God leads and guides me in everything that I do, and just like with this decision, I was led by God. Throughout my time, I'm dedicated and have a strong belief in the abilities of our people here in Jefferson County, in particular our youth, and the opportunity to go down at family court and to try to help fill in the gaps where families are hurting or missing. To me, it was a no-brainer, and when I prayed about it, and God said, yeah, I think this is a good fit, I said, okay, let me run.
Okay. So what prior positions have prepared you for this position?
Well, I am a 19-year practicing attorney. I have practiced previously with several different folks. I started off clerking for a judge up in D.C. We ran the juvenile drug court for the District of Columbia. Prior to that, I actually was a licensed student attorney, so I got a chance to actually represent indigent defendants in the D.C. system while I was still a student.
Oh, okay.
I've also done some work at the Attorney General's office here in the state of Alabama. Worked under as a clerk and summer law clerk for Judge Cook on the Supreme Court. So I have a big background and diverse background of things that I've done. I spent the most time working with Thomas Means Gillis and C. At that place, I was able to hone my legal skills and gain a passion for an understanding of law that sometimes you don't get in the everyday hustle of doing a solo practice. So I had 10 years doing that. I also served as a law professor out at Miles School of Law, and I currently sit as a special appointed judge down at Family Court. And I've also had the honor and blessings of being able to run my own practice here since 2012, where I've maintained clients like the Birmingham Board of Education, Choctaw County School Board. So I've worked in and about local government, defending and understanding those issues. I've worked in and about the school system, but I think most importantly, it's been my dedication and volunteer work in the community. All of that comes together, and at the time that I was doing some of this stuff, I don't know that I necessarily knew that this is what I'm doing to prepare for family court. But when I think back over the time, working as a quality assurance person with DHR for a while, all of those experiences kind of culminate into crafting me, I think, to be uniquely qualified to be in this position.
Okay. Can you tell the voters what District Judge Place 3 is, what type of cases you would be overseeing and hearing?
District Judge Place 3 is one of 3 judicial spots that's in family court. There's a circuit court position and there's 2 district court positions. We handle cases as assigned by the presiding judge, who is a circuit court judge. I think the incumbent there is Raymond Chambliss, and I think Janine Hunt Hilliard. They're both vying for that seat. So I would hear cases as determined and assigned by them. They would kind of split up the range of cases. Family court has cases dealing with protection from abuse, child support. There's some child placement matters that are there. There are some custody issues. Then you have some delinquency matters when you're talking about juveniles who are alleged to be delinquent or children in need of supervision. So basically, outside of divorce, anything else that deals with live family issues is handled down at family court.
Okay. What qualities you feel voters should consider when voting for judges?
I think it's key to look towards someone's experiences when you're looking for a judge, and not just a singular experience. Because as the judge, you're not necessarily the best quality is not necessarily the ability to handle the 99% of cases that are routine or that fit within the mold. But I think it's important to have a judge with a diverse legal background, because the judge also sits on those 1% of cases or whatever where something's novel and new. I also think that the number of years of experience also factors into that. So I think that my diverse background there is helpful. But I think one of the more important things when you're looking for a quality of a judge, somebody who is willing to listen to all parties, somebody who has demonstrated their fairness in listening to all parties, and then someone who has shown you that they care about the community. I actually had a strange post posted to my page once and said, I see here where he's done a lot of work with the youth and the kids and all the community, and he talks to this school and he talks to that school, but you know, what does that really have to do with being a judge? Well, I've always heard and believed that if you want to lead the people, you got to love the people. Can't lead anybody or guide anybody in a correct direction if I don't have their best interests at heart. So someone who has shown you they're dedicated to your community and to your causes, and someone who has prepared themselves to be able to handle the job legally. Over my 19 years of experience of doing matters, writing briefs to the Supreme Court, handling all sorts of matters, I certainly have prepared myself legally. And I think that my track record of community service and dedication to the community shows the people that I'm prepared to be the judge at family court.
Okay. What type of programs would you like to implement once elected?
That's interesting. One thing I want to do from the beginning, I've heard a lot of folks talk about the different programs in all the different races. I've heard a lot of judges talk about innovative programs they would love to bring. Issue and problem is that Alabama administrative officers of court, they're not adequately funding court practices throughout the state as it is. I mean, we don't really have enough funding to even cover the basics of what should happen. So when we talk about a lot of different courts, I could come up with a court that would address each individual family and each individual need if I had unlimited resources. But we're not going to have that. So first things first, I think that for any child that comes before me, either in need of supervision or alleged to be delinquent, I think one simple solution that we could have would be to assign each one of those kids a one-to-one mentor. Doesn't have to be a funded program, doesn't have to have anything that's particularly structured for that. We would, of course, make sure that there's background checks and make sure the safety of the children. But beyond that, I think that there are steel workers and there are guys who work for the telephone company and guys who work in labor, but guys who are also professional, guys who are in media, and when I say guys, I mean people, who do these various different things, who do have compassion and would come out and volunteer to work with these kids. And I think it would be so invaluable because I think a lot of what we see, and I've talked to adults who were a little bit wayward, were bad kids, as they want to say, and they said, look, what was the thing that could have stopped you from doing some of the things that you did? And the number one thing I've heard guys tell me is, I didn't have a father figure, or I didn't have a mother figure. You know, the folks in my household, this is the way everything was done. So I grew up doing this because this is the way my family did things. So I just imagine how much it would be if I had a Jarvis Escott or a Fred Bolling coming in there and this kid had a telephone that he could just pick up and say, look, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm thinking. Can you help me out with what should I do? Or even filling out a college application. Kid that may be gifted enough to do it, but don't know that they can go and seek funds and money and other things. So very first thing, no cost, one-to-one mentorship for any child that's coming before me. Beyond that, I think that the best approach would be to go in and analyze what programs are there. I've heard anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 programs are currently in existence. And my question is, that's an awful lot of programs. And we should be having some pretty good results. And so one of my first goals is that we're going to go in and analyze the programs that work. If they work, we keep them. We use them. We try to expand them. If they're not giving us results, and some programs may be great on paper, but it's just not the right programs for Birmingham or Jefferson County. And if they don't work, get rid of them.
Well, I guess you kind of answered my next question. How would you change the judicial system in Jefferson County?
Well,
so that's the first.
Well, I'll tell you, the judicial system in Jefferson County is actually is not in bad shape. I think that what we need to do in order to make sure that Jefferson County's judicial system stays the way we want it to stay is that we do need to have forums like this where we find out and make sure that we keep the judges that are going there of the highest quality and folks who are committed to Jefferson County, the community. That's how we keep the system where it needs to be. That's how we change it. I don't think it needs a total overhaul. It just needs the right person in place to make sure that justice will be done, everybody's voice will be heard, and the people will be loved.
Okay. This is a great question. So once elected, how...
I claim it.
Once elected, what should a person expect if they walk into your courtroom?
What a person should expect is this. I am a father of two now. I have a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. So since the last time we really had a sit down and talk, all Mrs. New.
Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you, thank you. I think one of the things that being a father has taught me, and I was a father figure to a lot of kids before, but being a father of my own now, I think it even helps me more with those as well. I think what it has taught me is that each and every person, no matter how many traits they have that are similar, each person is unique. Each person is unique. And in that, your solution to that person's problems, emotions, or whatever else has to be tailored to that person. So people coming into my courtroom will expect this, that judge that's sitting up there, one, will always follow the law and will study just as hard after hours to make sure that the law being applied is applied correctly. Because one thing that frustrates and infuriates people more than anything else is to be in court, to know that you're right, but somehow the judge gets it wrong. And that's not to say that I'm perfect, but I have to make sure that I do everything in and out of court to make sure that I'm giving correct and fair justice to folks. But beyond that, they also know that they will, and what they can expect is that a judge that will be there who cares for them.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. And we're gonna find solutions. Birmingham, Jefferson County is a wonderful place to be.
Okay.
Businesses are booming, opportunities abound. Problem is that too many of our families are left behind. Too many families, white, black, Hispanic, and all, are just left behind. And my thing is that everybody needs to have a fair shot. What I want for Jefferson County is for each family and for each child to have the opportunities that I would try to give to my own. And if we work toward that, I don't know that I'm gonna make that happen 100%. But as they say, if you reach for the moon, maybe you'll grab some stars.
Okay. So Tuesday, June 5th.
June 5th.
A couple more days to go.
That's it.
If they want to find out more about your campaign, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, on Facebook, I have a couple different Facebook pages, and if you go to the Facebook page, Frederic Bolling for District Judge, that page will also link you to a web page. And honestly, I'll tell you what, I'll give you my cell phone number. You can call me.
Well, they may need a ride to the polls.
A ride to the polls, absolutely. But if you want to contact 205-541-2470, that is truly my cell phone number. It doesn't change. It's It's business, it's personal, it's everything. So
Okay.
if you need to contact me directly, go ahead and call it. And once I win, I'm not gonna change it.
Okay.
So if the people want to call me, then I may be on the bench, so I may not be able to answer that.
Okay.
I may have to get a second one for my wife to call me.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna change it because I want to be accessible to the people. I want the folks to understand we're in this together.
Okay.
And we're gonna make something magic happen together.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Bolling, for the opportunity. You all don't forget to vote this Tuesday, June the 5th. And for more information, check out my website, what'shappeningbirmingham.com. Thanks again, and goodbye, everyone.
All right.